Hi everybody, in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to get really good with just one wedge. I'm going to be using a 54 degree and we're going to be talking about how to hit the ball high, how to hit it low, how to hit it medium, how to get some spin, how to let it roll out. All these little shots that we can get really good with one wedge rather than overcomplicating it and trying to hit different types of wedges. And if we don't have time to practice, that is a very difficult way of playing golf. So stay tuned. I'm going to be hitting lots of different types of chip shots from different areas of this green behind me, and we're going to be talking through how to make this game a little bit easier. Okay, so around this green I've laid out 3 different stations. I've got one station here right behind me that's going to be quite a long shot to the flag. I've got another station just over to the side of the green that requires me to get the ball kind of like a medium sort of trajectory. I don't necessarily need height, but I also don't want too much rollout. And then I've got a really tricky shot where I've short-sided myself on a down slope. So I'm going to need a little bit more stop and a little bit more, maybe a little bit early height in the ball so it kind of doesn't roll out too far. Now, first shot in front of me is a long pitch shot across, or chip shot across the green. I've got it's an upslope, and it's an upslope towards the flag as well. I'll say for the technique for this shot, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to put the ball a little bit further back in my stance. I want to encourage a slightly lower trajectory once the ball leaves the club. Now, it is a 54 degree, so it's not going to roll out massively. If you want to get comfortable with your 52 or your 48 degree or your pitching wedge, then you can expect a little bit more rollout. But this is what is great about practice. You're going to be learning how each club works and how the ball reacts from each club. So like I said, I'm going to get really good today. I'm trying. I'm going to get really good today with a 54 degree. I'm going to put the ball a bit further back in my stance. It'll come out lower. It'll still come out with backspin because I'm hitting down on the ball. So I'm not expecting an outrageous amount of rollout, but I'm expecting a slightly lower trajectory. Now, one of the things with all of these shots is you're going to find that my grip or the butt of the club is going to be on the inside of my left thigh. That position for the shaft angle does not change, okay? So for right-handed golfers, the butt of the club is going to be on the inside of my left thigh. That will not change for all the ball positions. That's going to be the first little secret to today's video. So ball position here, I'm going to put it on the inside of my right foot. I'm going to make sure my left foot is open towards the target. I'm also going to get my belt buckle here. I'm going to aim my hips just slightly left of the target as well. So my lower body is open to the golf ball and more towards target, because I still want to make sure that I get the body rotating through the ball. One other thing I'm going to do with the club face as well is I'm going to allow the club face to release, almost similar to how I would hit try and hit a draw. I want the club face working through the ball as I get through into my follow through position. I'm not going to be trying to hold the face open or anything like that. I'm going to allow the club face to start to rotate through the ball, almost as if I'm hitting like a draw shaped shot. Okay, so ball position's on the back foot, left foot is slightly open, hips are slightly open, the club is on the inside of my left thigh. I'm just going to try and feel like I'm hitting a little draw. Lovely little strike, bit of check. Oh, worked out a lot better than I expected. I think there's a little hill just after the hole, so it's just rolled down there, but it was a good shot. So what you're trying to see is that as I come into the ball, the club face is starting to release. I'm not trying to finish with the club face open, which is what I'm going to do at a later shot. At the moment, I'm just letting the club face release through the ball, which is going to help prevent too much backspin. It's also going to help prevent too much height. It's going to keep the loft lower on the face, and I'm just going to get a nice rotational movement through the body. Okay, so inside the right foot, left foot slightly open, weight on my left side as well, club on the inside of my left thigh. Let the ball roll and release up that slope, and that is a decent little shot. Okay, last shot from this side. So again, you'll be able to see the club face as it starts to come into the ball, just start to release. And what I'm aiming to try and do there is get the toe of the club pointing up through the shot. So I want to still make sure I get that release. Normally when we're playing a little chip shot, a little pitch, we'll be looking at maybe trying to keep the club face slightly more lofted through the ball. Helps you use the bounce, helps you get a little bit more height. Like I said, that shot works, the shot we're going to come back to later. So back of my stance, I'm going to make sure my club is on the inside of my left thigh, left foot's open, hips are open, and just let the ball release. That's not great for aim. But again, you see a little bit of check spin as the ball lands, and then it just has that little bit of release. You may even see on a couple of shots, it does literally look like it's drawing, because that's the type of spin we're trying to put on the ball. It's very, very minimal. It's more of a feel thing. Guys, comment below, what sort of chip shots do you play? What clubs do you play with? Do you ever try to play a different style of shot with one club? That's obviously what today's video is all about, trying to give you more versatility with one club so it's a lot easier for your practice. Get really good imagination, learn imagination, because that's something that doesn't come naturally to any golfer on the planet. Lots of practice with short game helps you get imaginative. Right, let's move on to shot number 2. This time we're down by the side of the green, right side of the green, short side of myself a little bit, but it's not the worst shot in the world. I don't need to hit this silly high. I don't want to go in too low with too much roll because the flag is on a slope. Now, greenkeeper Stu, if you're watching, you're a psychopath. That is a tough flag. Greenkeepers, oh, you don't have to make it difficult for us. So I don't want to go in too high. I don't need to go in too high, I should say. I don't necessarily want to go in too low because I don't want the slopes to pay too much attention to the ball. So what I'm looking at here is just your standard pitch shot, your standard chip. Also guys, you'll hear me refer to chip and pitches so differently because I get this question a lot. What's a chip? What's a pitch? And honestly, my answer, does it really matter? What you've got to be trying to do is swing a swing that is suitable for the length of shot. Right. So for this shot, we're going to go middle of the stance, and I'm not going to roll the face on this one as much, okay? I'm not going to release the club face. Now, I know roll is not the right terminology, but it's a nice one that helps golfers understand what they're trying to do. So I'm not going to be releasing the club face as much on this. I'm just going to try and keep it so it's, rather than pointing straight up, it's pointing slightly to the right as I look at it. Okay, so a bit more of a conventional chip slash pitch, middle of my stance, left foot stays open, hips stay open, butt of the club again stays on the inside of my left thigh because that's where I'm going to keep every single shot. A little bit of a duff, landed short of the green, and it rolled on the green. It's all right. So you know what, honestly, and this, although we'll laugh at how rubbish that shot was, a decent technique generally provides some decent bad shots, and that's key. Golf is all about how good your bad shot is. Okay, so left foot's open, hips open, club's on the inside of my left thigh. Nice to strike, nice trajectory. Just got the wrong side of the slope there, poor aim, and it's just checked up quite nicely and then released down the slope. I told you this flag position is brutal. Same again, so we're going to get that same feeling. Ball position in the center, weight on the inside of my left foot. It's left foot open, hips open, club on the inside of my left thigh. Has a nicer strike onto the green and a bit more of a respectable outcome. Okay, one more shot from this side. So again, as you can see, it's slightly uphill from where I'm hitting from. Go for that more conventional chip shot. Ball position in the center, left foot slightly open, hips open, clubbing towards the inside of my left thigh. And club face controlled on the way through, and a much nicer chip again, to be fair. The last two shots, I gave myself a little bit of redemption. As players, we'll always have a go-to shot. I think it's so important if you can have 2 or 3 go-to shots, and I hope that's what this video is helping you with today. Okay, the third and final shot. You guys, you're way up there. You're only about 6 yards away from me, but you're about 6 foot higher than me from that slope. So you can tell how difficult this shot's going to be, how fast it's going to be. It's going to be a scary shot. If I put a ball a bit further back in my stance here and just chip it down the hill, I'm going to really struggle to hold the slopes. If that would have gone in, I'd have been fuming. And it's gone down the other side of the hill. So I need a slightly softer landing. When you get into a slope like this, when the slope is going towards the target, you would generally hit the ball lower. If the slope is going up towards the target, you'll hit the ball higher. This is going lower towards the target, so it'll go lower. So what I actually want to try and do is use my wedge to create a little bit of extra height that I've lost because of the slope, not stroke. I'm going to put the ball position slightly further forward in my stance. So when I've got the slightly further forward in my stance and with the shaft angle just on the inside of my left thigh, I've taken out all the shaft lean. Now what I'm not going to do with this type of lie is I'm not going to open the face, because that could potentially catch it very heavy because of the slope behind me. But if this was a flat lie, but I had short-sided myself, you could slightly open the face, but again, you're playing with fire. It's a difficult shot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the ball position in line with the inside of my left foot. I'm going to get the club obviously on the inside of my left foot as well, which is my left thigh. I'm going to get the weight into my left side as well. Hips open, and we're going to aim for the slope this time. Actually, there we go. Weight forward, and we just got a soft little bit of landing, and it's rolled too far because it wasn't perfect, but it was okay. The one thing you've got to watch with this shot is that you don't catch it heavy or thin. Obviously, well, you've got to watch that with every shot, but more so with this shot. You've got to still make sure you keep the body weight into that left side. There, weight left. That was a better shot, a lot softer in the landing, and it's going to take that slope. So I'm trying to take out the slope as best I possibly can. These are the types of shots you just can't practice enough. So I've got 2 more golf balls. I'm going to give it another go. The last one was a decent little shot. You can see how much it's breaking. You can see how fast it is. So I'm doing everything I can on my club to kind of take away any lowering of the loft or lowering of the spin. I'm trying to maximize the loft, maximize the spin. So ball positions on the inside of my left thigh, shaft of the clubs on the inside of my left thigh as well. I'm going to try and get my weights fully on my left side. Really good strike, just probably came out a bit hot off the rough there actually. Flew off. Let's try one more. See how difficult these shots are. The more you practice these really difficult shots, the more you'll also appreciate your approach shot. You don't end up in this situation. If you're stood on the fairway now thinking, last place I want to be is over the back on that slope because it is game over, you're going to go more towards the right of the flag, which will give you an easier chip shot. So you have to start playing that into consideration. That's not being negative, that's being clever. Oh, there we go, that's a lovely soft landing. So you see, if my strike gets better, then the outcome will also get better as well. But guys, I hope you've learned a lot from this video. 1 club, 3 different ball positions, but the similar setup with the rest of your body can provide 3 different types of shots. You can get different types of spin, different trajectories, and you can get really, really good with just 1 club. And then you can broaden your horizons and use lots of different clubs. And if you can start doing that, the scores will absolutely tumble. So I honestly believe this video could be a game changer for you. If you go out, you get the practice in, use your imagination, play different types of shots, try and do different ball positions, and you will 100% lower your scores. Guys, thank you very much for watching as ever. If you could be ever so kind and give that smash button, give that like button a smash. Good God, the heat is getting to me. Also, please, if you could subscribe, that would also be very nice as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another video.